Hello, Preschool of the Arts families and all of our friends. What a treat to touch base with you. It's Sarah Reffenstreif, and today I invite you to join me in a virtual challah bake.
Sing it together,
Challah is something we get to do each week at our Preschool of the Arts, and you have the chance with your moras in your beautiful classrooms to create challah from scratch. So I know that many of our friends watching this really know how to do this already, but we're going to use a very delicious and new recipe. So we invite families to join us together as we do this virtual challah bake for our Preschool of the Arts community. So of course, first most important, take a few minutes to go to the sink and wash your hands in the way you've been learning with your teachers in a way to keep yourself and everybody around you extra healthy. So go take a time, choose your favorite song, sing it 2 times, and wash your hands really well with some soap, and then join us back here.
Shabbat Shalom, hey, Shabbat Shalom. Hey, Shabbat, 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 Shalom.
Excellent job. Welcome back. So first we're going to take a look at the ingredients we'll be using and make sure we go through everything that you need to join in this challah baking together. So first and foremost, you're going to need a very large bowl. So you'll go find the biggest bowl you have in your home and bring it to the table. We're also going to need some sugar, some salt, kosher salt like this if you have, or any salt will do. 5-pound bag of flour, oil of your choice, vanilla extract if you have, it's optional but it makes the dough quite delicious, and 2 eggs, and some hot water. You want water that's going to be basically baby bath temperature, so fairly warm, tiny bit leaning towards the hot. The temperature of the water is quite important. What I usually do is I'll boil up some water and leave it to rest for a little while so that it's more at room temperature, or I'll take some boiled water and add a little cold water to it. Okay, so go take a few minutes now to gather a large bowl, sugar, salt, flour, oil, vanilla extract, eggs, and some water. One of the things I did not mention, if you haven't yet gathered, is a tablespoon, a teaspoon, and a large measuring cup. All right, take a few minutes and we'll meet right back here.
Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam. Bim, 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 bam.
Welcome back. We're ready to begin. So first we're going to add 7.5 teaspoons of yeast. 7.5 teaspoons of yeast. I already did 6, 7.5. Once you added the yeast, we're going to pour in the water. And we need 4 3/4 cup of warm water. Four 3/4 cup of warm water. And then we're going to add the sugar, and it's 1 1/4 cups of sugar. 1 1/4 cups of sugar. Or some people like to add honey. Sometimes I do a little bit of both. Let's leave that in our bowl. Let's take a look. And what we're looking for is our yeast to begin to bubble, for it to proof.
Today is Friday. Today is Friday. Tonight is Shabbat. Tonight is Shabbat. A day of rest. Tonight is Shabbat. Tonight is Shabbat. A day of rest.
Okay. Our yeast is nice and frothy and bubbly. Let's see if I can give you a look at it. You can see if yours is ready too. But as soon as you start seeing it bubble and froth, you know that it's ready. So let's get ready to add the other ingredients. We're going to start with our flour. We will end up using just about a full 5-pound bag of flour. Sometimes I use regular flour, sometimes I use spelt, sometimes whole wheat. I'm not very particular and I shake it up, but this recipe calls for white flour and we're going to do it that way together today. But feel free to mix and blend in different flours that you like to use as well. We're going to start with 6 cups of flour. Cups of flour. Now to flour, I'll add in 6 cups. And then I'm going to add in 2.5 tablespoons of salt. 2.5 tablespoons of salt. I add that on top of the flour. While it's still easy to mix, we're going to take a large spoon and give it a little bit of a mix. And it's a great time to sing your favorite Mix, Mix, Mix Your Holiday song. Okay, and now we're ready for our oil. We're going to add 1 cup of oil. Oil is interesting. Oil is something that's used for anointing. And when we add the oil into our challah dough, I like to think of things that make each of my children or family members special. What makes them stand apart, what makes them different and unique, and the beauty that they add to my family. That's something I think about when I add the oil to my challah. And continue to mix that up. Now we are going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. It's not a must, but like I said, it does add a delicious flavor to the dough. 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And 2 large eggs. Now when we use eggs, we actually break them into a glass first to make sure there's no sign of any blood spots in it. We're going to add our 2 eggs. That's 1 and 2. Continue to give it a mix. If your sister or brother is helping you, give them a chance to mix as well. It's going to be quite a few minutes and some hard mixing that we're going to get to do. So if this is a good time to ask mom or dad for some help, you can do so. We're now going to add another 6 cups of flour. Like I mentioned, we're going to end up using most of this bag, but the last few cups we'll add slowly and only as we see if it's needed. We don't want to get the dough too dry, so we'll add it slowly and add a little bit more if it continues to be sticky. Now once it gets a little hard to mix in the bowl, this is usually around the time that I clear my space and get ready to mix it straight on the table. Take a minute to get your space ready. After you've mixed the dough in as much as you can using your spoon, once the dough forms, starting to be gathering together, all the ingredients joining together, just like a beautiful family, where you take lots of separate ingredients and lots of separate people, mix it together to form one beautiful dough. Going to mix that up.
Hi, I'm joining my mommy here to bake some challah. Right now I'm kneading it. If it might be a little gooey, you could just keep putting a little more flour from the side of the bowl and sprinkle it on top.
Okay, so Sheva gave a good suggestion. If it's a little sticky on the side of the bowls, add some more flour and knead from the bottom to the top.
And keep folding the dough to the other side so that you'll get the whole dough a very good dough. And it shouldn't be so sticky when it's done.
Chaya, did you want to join?
I'm adding some flour.
Okay, and wash your hands, 20 seconds.
If it is really sticky start, maybe you could add a little more flour if it's too sticky to roll.
Great suggestions. I'm gonna pour a little more flour in now.
We have another helper here. It's my sister named Chaya. So it's better to
And get ready
for Shabbat.
Can you sing that song with me now? Together, girls?
Yeah.
Sing that song? Let's take this out. And you can sing it like
I like to need the challah, need the challah. I like to need the challah to get ready for Shabbat.
All right, let's take a look and feel it for you.
It is a little sticky.
A little sticky. Okay, so come over to the side, please, and let's add a little bit more flour. Come around on this side, Shiva.
Maybe I could put like a
Shabbat angels are peeking through my window. They see shining candles and everyone's at home. The Shabbat angels are peeking through my window. They see shining candles and everyone's at home. Are you ready? Get your neighbor's hands. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom to every one of you. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom to every one of you. I was on my way to shul one day, not far from home. When on my way I saw a what? An M? And how did the M say Shabbat Shalom? It said Shabbat Shalom. It said Shabbat Shalom.
Sprinkle. Okay, now, if when you put it in, it jumps back out, bounces back out, it means it's ready. So our dough looks ready. Nice job, guys. What you can do is get your bowl. I'm going to ask Sheva to bring us our bowl. And
Mom, this
oil. That one, thank you. And can you pass me the oil as well?
oil.
Okay.
Here's our oil.
Now, we can take our dough now, and we're going to put a little bit, can you pour a little bit oil on my hand? Thank you, just really little. Just a little bit. A little more, sweetie. Okay, we're going to just oil very lightly our dough on both sides. And then you can use either a wet towel, a kitchen towel that you made wet with warm water, and put it over your bowl. We're going to use some saran wrap, cover it, and leave it for the next hour or two. The time it needs to rise really depends on the temperature in your home. So if your room is a little extra cold, it might take a little bit longer. If you have it next to an oven, it'll take a little shorter. We're going to leave it about an hour to an hour and a half and then touch base. What we're looking for is for it to double in size. Welcome back, friends. Go get your dough. Let's take a look at it and see how it's doing. I'm going to take the plastic off. So exciting. Our dough doubled in size. I hope your dough did too. And now for the most special part of our challah baking activity together. We're going to make the blessing, the bracha, for separating our challah dough. Now the dough that we separate, we actually don't eat. We burn it fully and it's left separate. It's a separate piece of dough for Hashem, for God. So friends, if a grown-up is with you, they can do this part, or you can do it with them together. We're going to take a pinch of the dough, so just about enough to fill the palm of your hand. And before we separate it, we're going to pause. We're going to take a moment to block out any noise or distraction and close our eyes maybe, and just think of all the things we're so grateful for our family, for our health, for our home, for our toys, for anything that you can think of that we want to say thank you to Hashem for and be grateful for. And especially now when life is a little bit different than what we're used to. And we have some prayers for people to be extra healthy. And as we get used to maybe being home more and not seeing our friends in person or having our play dates together, we can think of all of the things we'd like to ask Hashem to help us with. And now is a beautiful time. So let's join together and make this special blessing. Before we separate the dough, we'll say the blessing together. Are you ready? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahafrish challah. Hare zu challah. And now we're going to take this dough, this challah dough, and separate it. We're going to put it in a piece of silver foil and make sure that our grown-up burns it, because we can't use this piece. This piece is now separate, it's sacred, and we don't eat this piece of challah dough. So I'm going to wrap it in some silver foil and put it away to get burned before we now continue with our beautiful dough. And we're going to practice some different kinds of braids. So many different options. I know that many of you do a 3-braid in school. Sometimes you just create a shape that you love. Everything is okay. We're going to do some braiding, whether it's a 3, a 4, or a 6 braid.
Hi, I'm going to teach you how to make a 6 braider. The first step is make 6 straps of dough. Of the dough. We're going to try to pinch all of the challah strands together so that the first part is all together. Let's spread it out a little just so you'll have enough space and it won't go together. Okay, we're going to take the one to the right, just as a 3 one, and put it into the middle. That's the seam. Then we're going to put this one to the middle. We're going to put both of them a little more there so you'll have space there. I'm going to put this one to the middle and keep going. The one on the right and the one on the left. Okay, 6 braider. 6 braider. One thing that's different is you start pinching it from the top first. Then you braid it. And here is your 6th braider.
Okay, friends, are we ready for the topping? Here you can be as creative as you like. I put a bit of a choice to show you some of the toppings that I love, that my kids love to use. Start by beating 1 egg for the egg wash. Mix it up really well. I will sometimes add some vanilla extract, vanilla sugar, or a little bit honey if you're looking to make it sweet. Just add it into the egg itself. Make sure it's mixed well, and then brush it over your challah and your shapes. Once you've made that glaze, you can choose the final touch, your toppings. Sometimes if I'm going sweet, I add a little bit oatmeal flakes on top, a little cinnamon. My girls love to choose sprinkles, so go ahead if you have some chocolate chips or sprinkles and want an extra festive Shabbat. Go ahead and, with permission from your adults, put a little bit on and sprinkle away. Preheat your oven to 350, and when your oven is ready, with your adults' help, you can put your challah inside and bake it anywhere from about 25 to 40 minutes, depending on the size of your challah. We tend to have lots of different challahs here. If it's a very medium to large size, make sure you've got about 35 minutes at least in the oven. If it's a small challah roll or a mini braid, then you can probably check it after about 25 minutes. You'll know your challah is ready by the delicious smell in your home. Thank you so much, friends, for joining me today. What a treat to be able to be part of this wonderful pre-Shabbat experience. Please let me know how your challah came out and send me some pictures. We'd love to see. Thanks so much for sharing this experience with us. Wishing you all a Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Alright, friends, how do we welcome the Shabbat? What do we do?
Lighting like the candles.
I light the Shabbat candles. 1, 2, 3. Cover your eyes.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat kodesh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices join in happy chorus as we eat our yummy challah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Thank you, friends.
Bim bam, bim 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 bam.